Alright, Shalom. This almost was say Kalei Moyao Bashim Shab Shivakakodash. And double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, hold the role and teach well. Just want to go over a quick topic. Second Ezra, 7th chapter. We'll just start at the top. When I had him in the end of speaking these words, so said unto me, the angels had been sent unto me in the nights afore, the archangel Uriel. And he said unto me, Up, Ezra, and hear the words that I am come to tell thee. And they said, Speak on, my power. And said unto me, The sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But what the case, the entrance were narrow, and like a river. Who could then go into the sea to look upon it, and to ruin it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? Right? So, yeah, it goes into the straight gate. Okay? To enter the broad, you have to travel through the narrow, right? The entrances, right? The entrances are narrow, like a river, like this narrow passage, right? And a straight gate is full of difficulty when you go into it. Pretty much, it's not an easy walk. The walk that we do, right? It's difficult. We fight, spiritual fight, and principalities, right? As the rulers of darkness in this world, and so on and so forth, right? We not. It's not about being physical on this side, pretty much, right? When we get spiritual power, then that stuff will come. But right now, man, we just push these scriptures. We just endure, and so on and so forth. This isn't the time to be trying to fight Edomites or whatever and fight these other nations. And try to put your hands on these 2/3 Jakes or whatever stuff these other guys are thinking about doing these days, man. Right? So those guys are sellouts anyway. In different armed groups. I mean, actually, I don't even think those guys even call themselves Israelites. There's one group, I can't remember. It was ran by some dude called himself like Grandmaster J or something. I can't remember him. But I don't think they were they call themselves Israelites. But you got these different Jakes making their own militias and whatever. 6. There's another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things, right? It's like this beautiful city, right? Set upon a broad field full of all good things, right? So all kinds of stuff in there, right? Resources and stuff like that. It's beautiful, The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water, right? So imagine this tight entrance, right? And then there's just nothing but, fire and deep water, right? Perilous, right? This is what we gotta, deal with, man. Right? The consequences, falling out this truth, man, it's nothing but, peril, man. Right? And we're moving into perilous times, right? So, this ain't the time to be having no second thoughts or whatever, And this all goes into how much you have to trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, right? Because shit, man, you go out and you leave that straight path, you fall off it, man. It's nothing but trouble, right? Talking about Jacob's trouble, We have different Jakes out here, different groups out here. They're gonna be fighting against the government. They're gonna be fighting against Edomites. It's gonna be race wars. There's gonna be political wars, American, Egyptian against Egyptian. You're gonna see fucking cannibals because of the famine, right? you're gonna see like fucking ravishings, you know. Well, I mean, you may not exactly see it, but you know, shit like that's gonna go down, right? I mean, who knows? They might do that shit in the street, and you just got fucking, I don't even know. You know, shit could really be that fucked. You know, this is a time but unlike any other, right? Um, yeah, it says, was it yeah, because sword draws nigh, people shall, you know, rob each other with the sword, rob each other's houses with the sword, and mind they sword is a gun, right? So that's what they're gonna do, right? And only one path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small there could but one man go there at once, right? And that's that narrow path that we walk, right? Following these scriptures, right? Was it see broad is the okay. Yeah, enter at the street, Matthew 7:13, enter at the street gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. You go straight, it's narrow. Well, it's just like pretty much a position of difficulty, pretty much, when you go into it. A gate, palace, gate, wing. Talking about no gates of hell. There's no gates of hell. Right? It doesn't. That stuff all goes back to Hades and these different Greek mythologies. These dudes are trying to mix in with the scriptures. That ain't got nothing to do with the Holy Bible. Right? That's some heathen tradition. When you die, you go to the spiritual world. In second Esdras, I think the fourth chapter goes into it, the chamber of souls. That's the spiritual world. All right. You know, where your spirit, your soul and your spirit go up, and you wait there until it's time for you to be reincarnated every third or fourth generation. So roughly about every 100 years or so, you come back down and you play out your lot. We don't have to worry about that on this side. You know, Lord, you know, be the elect. And if you're the elect, right, you just gotta pray, you know, for that. You know, pray for that deliverance and things like that. You know, for the Lord's mercy, that pretty much the idea is that well, not the idea, what the facts are, is this life here is gonna be, you know, you're not gonna reincarnate again after this one. And if you could see it in the chariot, you know, Lord willing. And the only ones that are gonna have to get reincarnated again are gonna be these 2/3, because you know they went off, so they gotta come back. You know, the ones that die here, and I say 2/3 here in America, it's where 2/3 of nation Israel is gonna be, you know, destroyed. But going back to scripture, right? Wide is the gate and broad is the way, right? Because you know, there's many different things you could do to lead to your destruction, right? But with us, it's simple, right? It's, you know, it's narrow things for us to do, right? But it just pretty much means like difficulty, positions of difficulty, right? Because it's difficult being in this truth. Man. You can't let that, you know, stop you or deter you. Right? So you see, broad, spacious, right? You don't want to be in that spacious way. You want to be in that straight gate, that narrow, tight path, you know, which is difficult but will lead to your salvation, right? Because all the stuff in the world is just all about, you know, the cares of life, having fun, just fucking living it up and whatever. But all that stuff is empty, right? Because when these nukes come down, all this stuff is gonna get burnt up. The bars, clubs, you name it, it's gonna be gone, right? So, verse second Esdras 7:9. If the city were not given to a man for inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive his inheritance? Right? So if you don't come into this walk, how are you supposed to get into this inheritance, man? I mean, you're gonna get it, you know, regardless whether you come in or not. right? Because all Israel shall be saved, right? So, it's actually the truth. Like the worst Jake, right, is better than the best of the heathen, right? It's just speaking on the symbolic sense, but it's true, right? The heathen are all inferior to us, right? Every single Israelite is gonna get salvation, no matter what they did in this life. They will, come back, right? They're wicked, and the Lord had them get put to death. So here in America, maybe in other parts of the world as well. Well, not maybe, but in other parts of the world as well. There's gonna be nukes hitting other parts of the world. Jake's gonna get caught up in that, for sure. The wicked Jakes, you're just gonna come back on the next round trip, right? Come back as one of the brother's children, okay? And that's how you're gonna, come back, right? So, uh, but it's basically speaking in a parabolic. I say parabolic, um, like a parable like sense. I think parabolic might be the right word, but like allegorical, So you have to go through this path, right? Even though it's difficult, right? Even though you know, you still gotta do it. Right? It can be cold out. You gotta come out to camp, man. You gotta toughen up and get your stuff together and go. Verse 10. And I said, "It is so, Lord." Then he said, "Eat unto me, even so is Israel's portion." Okay, so even so is Israel's portion, right? Is that to get this kingdom, right? It's gotta be difficult, right? And the scripture says, Lord creates acceptable men out of the furnace of adversity. So it's just stuff He puts us through to test us, make us come out on the other side better. Low and I find this is Shalom.